Hey
What's
there.
going on?
Just checking, is my audio working? There's no echoing and stuff, right?
Nope, you're going
Okay, good.
good.
Because I changed I changed like my audio routing.
Got it. You have a nice setup there, Joe Rogan.
How is your let's see, how was your weekend?
Man, it was tiring. I am so tired. I think I've been going to the gym recently, so I'm really like sore.
Nice.
But otherwise, yeah, I mean, just resting up. Got another busy week. Yo,
Hey,
what's up,
Michael.
Michael?
Yo, what's up? You
How's
guys
your
hear me?
weekend?
Oh, cool. Yeah, it's good. It's been pretty good, pretty solid. How about you guys?
Same here, same here. I'm eating funnel cake right now.
That sounds incredible, honest to God. That sounds really good.
Yeah, my friend just had an event, and what was really cool is that we kind of we got him for free because we made him NFTs for the event, and we're like kind of got a select group of people together because he's charging for the event, and we're like, yeah, but if you have this NFT, you can get it for free. So we got
Oh, that's
everyone,
awesome.
yeah, their own NFTs, and it was really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, I just can't wait to be done with school.
I can relate because, man, college was insane when I was in college. Yeah, I could not wait to graduate when I was in college. I'm like, gosh, I'm so done.
Yeah, literally. I wish Brenda was here too. I don't know if you guys gotten a chance to talk to her individually, but she's also great. And what her and I have been talking about is that, like now that the cohort's done, like she wants to like spin up a Twitter Spaces, but we can't do it under like the Pomp Academy, like we do it like just like on our own thing. And she was like, "Yeah, make put together a list of like people who you think would be interested." And I did, and you guys were included on it. And she was like, she kind of wants to head that initiative because she likes doing Twitter Spaces so much, and I do too, honestly. So
Yeah, just call it C16 or cohort 16. Yeah.
yeah, I that's what I was thinking. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't really. We could have what's it, Coach B in there.
Hmm.
Yeah,
For
that would
sure.
be awesome. I like
Yeah,
the idea though.
she's the one. Like honestly, she's like yeah. She came up with the idea and then she got me on a call and we were just talking about it. Not last weekend, but I think the weekend before that. And it was funny because I think she didn't want it to be like public first, but like I've been just telling people anyways. But now that like the cohort's done, um, I was just like, yeah, let's just do it. I love Twitter Spaces. Like I go on Twitter Spaces to like calm down, like to relax.
Do you listen to people on Twitter Spaces or talk?
Um, I don't really talk. I have talked, but it's not like I don't know. Like I don't think I have anything substantial to give, so I just mainly listen. Um,
I used to, because I used to own my board ape, but I used to get invited to Twitter Spaces, and so I would always have some input to say. But yeah, I'd listen if it's like a really good discussion or conversation. It kind of just depends on the topic. But yeah, I enjoy it because everyone has like you can pick on other people to talk to and bring up to the stage. And I think that's really cool. It's kind of democratic in a way. So I enjoy it.
yeah, they're fun. I listen to a lot of. I don't speak in these ones. If I just want to like laugh, I listen to a lot of DGen spaces and like.
Yes,
I
I can
listen to
relate.
like that's like my guilty pleasure, just like listening to degens go. I don't take it I don't think anyone take it. If you go into those Twitter spaces taking it serious, like you're there for the wrong reasons. But then like when I wanted to, like when I actually want to learn, I go into the Bitcoin spaces because those usually are like really insightful. And what they do is a lot of people like from Africa, like they hold like a bunch of these Twitter spaces, and like they will talk about what's happening down there, what they're doing. And it's really cool to hear their stories. But otherwise, yeah, I also like listening to like DJ spaces. They're really funny.
How do you know when the spaces are happening? Do you just follow all the accounts and then when they go live, you just get a notification? Or how does it
Yeah,
work?
Yeah,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
usually if you pick like one influencer, because you have to find the Twitter influencers, and you can see on the top of your timeline on your phone if they're in the spaces or not. Now, the only thing I don't like about spaces that I really like about Discord and like well, yeah, Discord is that it's not accessible through the computer. I'm pretty sure it's only accessible through mobile, because
Mhm.
Twitter Spaces isn't integrated on I don't know on the computer. But it's cool because you just need to follow one person, and from there, like you will see the type of spaces they're in, and you can get notified. But the thing is that you have to like they will usually tweet their Twitter Spaces like link, and then you can set the reminder, and then it'll notify you. So you like still kind of have to like keep in touch of like when it's happening, but usually those that hold spaces repeatedly, like you just kind of get a hang of it, and yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because you can also like connect with influencers as well. Like you can also like pitch in, like I was saying earlier. So it's a really cool space to like one connect with these people and listen and get some insight into the market. So depending on who you listen to as well, because some people are just fudding or rug like shit like that. But it is really cool. And Jordan and I, if you've never been in a Twitter space, I assume you're right.
I mean, I've listened to like 3 in total, like not that much. Yeah.
Jordan, oh my goodness, like
I'm missing out. Yeah, I'm
The
definitely missing
Bitcoiners
out.
on the Twitter Spaces are great. Okay,
They're so
obviously
great.
there's some like it gets very tribal sometimes, but because you're obviously so into Bitcoin, like I would definitely recommend Twitter Spaces. Like, and they're just really fun. I've gotten a chance to talk, and this is just because you just have to put yourself out there. But I've talked to a lot of people from Swan Bitcoin on Twitter Spaces. I've talked to a lot of Twitter influencers on Spaces because you just sometimes they're just taking Q&A, and
Hmm.
you're just able to have a conversation with them. Like versus like imagine trying to go up to them in person. You know, they're gonna
Yeah.
be
So
it's
you
hard.
join as an audience, but you can like raise your hands and then they can call on you.
Yep,
Yep.
Okay,
pretty
let's
much.
see. Yeah.
Or if it's a smaller Twitter Spaces, if it's small, when you join, you have the option to accept and be in a speaker role or accept and be in a listener role. So what we could do is, because we're still pretty small, it depends. Like if it's more of like a panel like event, they're not taking people to just talk. But if it's like more discussion, they don't care who comes up as long as like it's like obviously appropriate and relevant to like the discussion. And then the host can also like mute everyone and like demote people if they need to. But yeah, otherwise it's pretty demographic. I haven't been in too many spaces where it's gotten crazy, but it can get depending on like how big the person is and how controversial the topic is, it can get pretty crazy. But I mean it's fun. Like it's just I feel like it's really raw. Like I feel like we don't get a lot of that. Like it's just you don't get a lot of people like saying whatever they want to say without having to worry. So I don't know. I love it.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I love it too because you do have that like a freedom to speak your mind in some respect, and it's just like people will listen. And it's like,
Mhm.
and some of the conversations, man, do get wild. I was in this one Twitter space, and these two guys were just going at it, and there was like over 1,000 people in this Twitter space, and I'm like, holy cow! I was like, dang, they're just like roasting each other back and forth, back and forth. It was about some NFT project, and I forget what it was exactly, but they were
Yeah.
fighting between Solana and Ethereum. I'm like, oh my gosh, it was absolutely insane. It was
Peak
crazy, but
peak
it
bull
can be
run.
entertaining, right?
Yeah.
I need you guys to help this boomer walk through how to use Twitter. So for some reason, when I scroll to the top, there's no spaces on top.
Wait,
Is
do
that
you
just because?
follow me?
Yeah, is that just because no one's online? Oh yeah, yeah.
I
If you go live, let's see if it works.
if I join a space, you could hold on.
Yeah, hold
Okay,
on. Let me get my Twitter too. Let me see.
I'm gonna join. I wish I could like screen share from my phone to Zoom. Um,
I mean,
I'm gonna go.
you can do this, I guess.
Yeah. So I'm in a space right now. I turned the volume down, but refresh your timeline
No, there's
and
nothing.
let's see.
This is probably why I've never joined Twitter Spaces. It rarely pops up for me in a
Join.
notification.
So sorry, this is my spaces right now. Okay, look up my username FGBERCA, and you will see there's a little purple ring around my profile.
Oh man, my Twitter's broken. There's no purple ring.
Do you have an iPhone?
No, I have Android.
Is it not compatible on? No, that can't be.
I've been on Spaces before, but only through notifications. Like my phone gets a notification, oh, this guy's live, and then I click on
You
it. So
might
yeah,
have a need
lol,
to
So
update.
I'm actually a boomer.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, Michael.
I mean, you have like the non-boomer setup right there with the mic, so I
yeah, so Jordan, if you look at the bottom of your Twitter screen, you'll see like the home button, the search button, the notification, and then you see like a microphone. Do you see that on your Twitter at
Yes,
all?
yes.
So the microphone, if you actually hit the microphone button, you'll see like other Twitter spaces going on. You'll see like live ones. You should.
Oh, I see. Okay, but I don't see Franny's. I see.
yeah, you don't
Okay.
see me.
The microphone are
What's your
wait.
username? Oh,
IZED on.
This is
IZED.
I got you. And I'm following you already.
Start listening. Yeah. Anyways, and I just checked the Google Store. Like I have the newest version of Twitter, so I'm just not using it properly.
okay. I
I
think
have no idea what I'm doing.
yeah, Twitter Spaces is probably one of the newest features. It's probably the newest feature out to Twitter after before Circles, before Twitter Circles. So I would yeah, it's not I will say that Discord. So I before I like kind of went to Twitter, I was like really into Discord. And Discord has a similar thing, but you know how Discord it's more like communities whereas Twitter is like all public. Discord has a thing called Discord stages that are also discoverable, but like I don't know, like they're not as it's not as open as Twitter where I can just go onto Twitter and join anything. Discord you kind of have to be in a server. Um but yeah, like Twitter Spaces are just great. The one I just sent you the link to, um I've I know the host and he's really cool. He's pretty smart about Bitcoin too, and I join his spaces a lot because he just has these people, I swear they have no jobs. They're always hosting these spaces. Like back to back. It's crazy. But yeah, during bull run, like I swear, I think the most riled up spaces are the ones with the traders in it because they get super passionate about like what they're trading.
They
And so
do.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I totally agree with that.
The guy you said that's really into Bitcoin or whatever. Which one is it? Artisans of Spirit? Who is it? Or maybe he
it's
left.
DJ Satoshi.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
DJ Satoshi 18.
Michael, I think you follow me.
Spaces host.
Yeah, I just followed you. Sovereign Individual is my Twitter handle.
Spaces host. So these guys have a spaces like every day or like what is it like?
Yeah,
That's
it's like
insane.
usually every night, like it's usually during the afternoon nightish when everyone's off from work, but some people don't even work, so they just have spin up spaces whenever and like you can join. That's one of the ones I go to often. There's another one that's like I joined the Michael, do you know him, Alex, the NFT degen guy?
Oh, I feel like I do. I need to look at my followers. I think I do.
What
I
about
think I do.
King Fudd, Machi,
Hey, Alex.
Shillin Villain?
So is it Alex? Is it founder of Solidio, building the future of the economy and technology? He has like ten
No,
thousand
no, no,
followers. Is
no.
that no? Not that one.
No,
Oh,
no,
I'm
no.
not following him. No.
I joined his
Okay.
spaces. His is like total degen, like hilarious. I'm gonna send it to both of y'all. Hold on.
I believe you.
Sovereign.
Actually,
Do you listen to a lot of Breedlove?
love Breed Love. Yeah, I do. I like his philosophical takes on Bitcoin and other things. It's very novel the way he looks at life. I like it.
Yeah, he's one of my
He
favorite
was a really
people
cool
in
guy.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, he's definitely like he was a really cool guy when I met him in person. And I still need to watch Twitter Peterson because I still think that'd be fascinating. Have you guys watched that at all on YouTube or listened to that at all?
His discussion with
Jordan
Jordan
Peterson and
Peterson. Yeah, I
Breed Love.
watched it.
Yeah, man, I need to watch it. I need to find time to just sit down and watch it. Was it good? Did you really enjoy it, Jordan?
Um, I think it's more for like it's good, but it's like you probably know everything he's gonna say. It's more for Jordan Peterson's fans who are not that who don't understand Bitcoin that well. It's more for like, yeah, it's
I see.
I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson and Breedlove. I've been listening and following Jordan Peterson since like 2017. He can go way deeper. I liked like his debate with Sam Harris. That was good. Jordan Peterson is like that was like 5 hours long or something like that. It's a three
Well, I need
separate.
to listen to that. Those are both think tanks right there.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, I listened to Sam Harris 10 years ago when he first started talking on TED Talk about like free will. Like back then he was like my favorite philosopher or whatever. And then he didn't have anything new, so then you know he fell off, I guess. But not real, not like no, he didn't, because now he has his own podcast and stuff.
yeah, I don't know much about him, but I like the rat. I'm a very like audio listener. Like I learn a lot through audio, so I average like 3 podcasts a day. So I just do it when I'm doing stuff or when I'm like doing tedious things. I just listened to a little bit to Peter McCormack's new episode with Kathy Wood. But I like Breedlove on specifically his relationship with the state. I think like that's the part that really gets me the most, of when he talks about what the state is and what it's like, how like we actually treat our government versus like how we think we do. And I think that's really eye-opening. But he has he comes at it from such a like philosophical take, but he has like a really extensive background in like finance and like accounting, which is kind of interesting. Because he doesn't really come off as such. He comes off more as like a Sam Harris or like a Jordan Peterson type way. Versus maybe you see like Preston Fish and like all these other people that are definitely more macro finance oriented, which is pretty funny. But yeah.
Yeah, I think like Breedlove, he's pretty well rounded, so he can talk from any perspective he wants to, and he generally focuses more on the philosophical side. Maybe because I think that's partially what's missing from the Bitcoin space. There's a lot of macro and traders, but there's a few philosophers.
Yeah, for him, he's more, because most people in this space are about price, right? All they care about
Yeah,
is the price.
exactly.
They don't really think
Yeah.
about the behind like the purpose of what Bitcoin is, like in a philosophical level. And that's why I like Breedlove, because he goes into that and dives deeper than most other people would even consider. And so that's why it's cool listening to him, because you get a different perspective on Bitcoin and crypto as a whole. Well, for me, crypto as a whole. Others disagree,
Yeah,
but
100%.
that's how I look at it.
Do you guys like Saifedean?
He's my favorite.
Yes, yes, I do.
Yeah, I think Saifedean is just like pinnacle of laser eyes. Like he's just
Oh, wasn't there like beef between Peter McCormack and Saifedean? Like what is I never what was it about?
yeah. So Saifedean is very he doesn't lie anywhere. He just is very have you watched his podcast with Lex?
Yeah, that's my favorite one. I sent you that, remember?
Yeah.
Or
So you know
yeah.
how he talks about how life is too short, so he's gonna say whatever the fuck he
Yeah,
wants to
I
say.
like that. Yeah.
Right. And so is Peter McCormack, but the thing is like they are like really confrontational. So Peter McCormack, he still cares a lot. Like he comes at it from like we need to do something about the climate. Um like he comes to it. I don't want to like label as like lefty righty because I don't really like labels, but he definitely disagrees with Saifedean on the fact that that the climate isn't like deteriorating and stuff like that. Him and what's her name, Margot Paez, they want to use Bitcoin to kind of solve a lot of these climate issues, but Saifedean comes from that perspective where it's not really climate issues, it's just people drumming up a narrative to make these companies bend down. And they got in a whole, and Peter McCormack like kind of rebutted, and he had like a whole research thing like on his Twitter. And I think Safety blocked him, and then Peter McCormack like he's obviously he has like podcasters like, okay, well I can't invite you to the podcast, like I can't give you this platform because you're gonna act like that. So yeah, they've never, and it's funny because Peter McCormack actually, he says allegedly, this is what he says on this podcast, he tried going up to him at a meetup one time and trying to like resolve things in person, but Safety was like, nah. Like he just like shut him down and like walked away. So they don't particularly get along, but I listen to both. Like I think both have, as much input, but yeah, a lot of beef. There's a lot of beef between and this is like part of like a bigger thing where there's a lot of beef between Bitcoiners about like the climate, ESG, energy, like stuff like that. It's too much of a rabbit hole for me because I am nowhere near, don't know nothing about energy markets and stuff like that. That's not, I just listen to it, but yeah, it's kind of like the two main camps. And then the other main camps of Bitcoin, I think, are those that kind of still see Bitcoin under like our democracy versus those that are like super Austrian economic type people and self-sovereign individuals, which I think that's another like subset of people. So, but I kind of I'm like a sponge. Like I soak it all up. I don't really stand anywhere, personally. Other than that, I like Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin to succeed. So
yeah, I think we all do. Yeah, I'm kind of like, for me, I like listening to perspectives, and I don't lean in one camp or another. But we all have different viewpoints, and I think Bitcoin, I mean, it allows for that to kind of happen. But what is right and what is wrong, I mean, it's anyone's guess. It's up for debate. But I listen to many different people, and many different perspectives. Even if I disagree with them, I still listen to them to see maybe I may learn something new, or even strengthen my point. Like, hey, this is why I still disagree with you. So that's why I like listening to different perspectives.
One thing I really like, and this is something, and I know you guys have been hearing about this, but I'm here on college campus, right? And there's no free discourse. Like there's no free discourse. Like I can't even say like a lot of things like here on campus without probably having to get in trouble, and also like, with the vaccinations, like our university coerced us. Like we wouldn't be able to take classes, register for classes if we didn't have proof of vaccination, right? And this is like something that I love about like Bitcoin and like in general, like about the crypto space in general, because obviously it started with Bitcoin, but I see this theme throughout, is that no one really cares. And I think this is like a huge test to see who really is playing these identity politics and who's not. Because a lot of the friends in my club, like we talk about things super unfiltered, but we know if we were to go out and like, talk about this with other people, we would get like thrown out. Like, and this is what I really like about Bitcoin. It's just like it's super neutral and it's promoting a culture where it doesn't matter where you stand. You can just benefit off the technology, and we can all have these ideas, as long as it's not forceful and you're not being coerced. It doesn't matter. So
yeah, because Bitcoin's apolitical, right? So it doesn't really care what you think or what your beliefs are. Whereas, like you say, your university, it's political. It's like everything's almost politicized, and it's like it's so bad. It's terrible.
It's really bad. It's like it's not just. I mean, it's all institutions, but like the fact that it happens at a university level where people's brains are still forming, right? Like, we haven't been alive long enough to like really see everything and address everything, and like you're being shoved a lot of stuff you don't want to, shouldn't have to be shoved. Like you should have to. This is why I keep my club chain agnostic, because I want people willingly getting into Bitcoin, right? I don't want to force Bitcoin onto anyone. Like that's not what we're here to do. And I feel like the people that really see it, really willingly get into Bitcoin, are the ones that are going to benefit the most from it. So yeah, but it's ridiculous. And thankfully, like the people that are like I'm close to here, and like we've formed this community where it's like super, it just feels super normal, like comparedly to like the rest of society and like where we're going. So
you're leading the change of this discussions in universities, Franny. Good job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
congrats.
Did you like my op-ed? I know I sent it. I didn't post it everywhere yet, but I spent a good amount of time just kind of like simplifying it down for students. Let me see if I can find.
The article that you wrote. Yeah,
Mhm.
I read it.
Let me see
I
if I
have
can.
not. I need to read it.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, so I wrote an op-ed kind of just about the space, and kind of like why we're focused on it. I didn't mention my club, but kind of like about just the topic in general. And it was funny because when the editors were going through it, they were like, you need to simplify this, you need to simplify that. But it was really good input for me to see where people are having trouble like wrapping their heads around this. Because I think people can generally agree that the government does stuff that's like super unfair and super oppressive, but they're not looking at it from just the state versus the people standpoint. They're always looking at it from some sort of like more niche angle when in reality it's a bigger picture that's been going on for super long. Um so yeah, I kind of wrote it and I actually was afraid that it wasn't going to get out because people would be, skeptical. But yeah, they decided to publish it, which I'm really happy. So yeah, it's in the paper. And then there's another article coming out about it's going to be about me and my club and then my council, and that's coming out I think this coming week. So um
How do you begin to write for like one of these like publishers? Do you just email them and say, "Oh, I'm a writer. Can I write an article for you?" Like,
yeah, so a reporter. So I was doing another event that was getting reported on, and this reporter happened to work for the paper. And I said, "Hey, who can I get in contact with that, um, so that I can write like an op-ed or like I can write a take?" And she gave me like his Slack, and I wrote a little message like, "Hey, I have this idea. Can I write it?" And he was like, "Yeah." So it's really just trying to find out who is controlling most of the editing,
mm,
and then like hitting them up and like just giving them a general idea. But the thing is that you have to like it is pretty strict. So like I was super busy because they're on strict deadlines because they have to after you write, the editors have to have like a few days to go through it, and then the designers they have to make like a graphic design and everything. So it can be like pretty tight, like but otherwise like yeah, usually most of the time as long I mean it still depends, but as long as like you have like you show that you have enough reasoning for it, then they'll let you write it. So
so did you send him like a shorter summary of what you were gonna write? Cool.
yeah, I kind of just said, hey, I'm just covering like this new technology, and I really think it can provide a more equitable future. And can I write about this in the paper? And he was like, yeah, send me. I gave him like a rough outline afterwards, like on like a Google Docs, and he went through it, and then he gave me his feedback. But he was like, yeah, you can definitely write this. Have this to us by the end of the week, and we'll edit it. And then yeah, and I actually had to get this pushed back a little bit because I was at a conference, and then I came back, and then their editor had left, so it did get pushed back a little bit, but it did give me more time. Like after going to the conference and after like go being part of the cohort, I got so much more input back, and I kind of like implemented it in like my writing. So I actually like writing more than I like talking. I think I'm a better writer than I'm a speaker. So yeah, I'm probably gonna post on LinkedIn sometime this week, but it's out.
Yeah, I'm reading it right now, and it's looking really good. Like, just to say, I think for the record, you speak really well. And just reading this, I think you're also a really good writer as well. So you have best of both worlds going for you, Franny.
I appreciate that. The best compliment I got was when Coach B said I was like a younger version of Lynn Alden. That made my day. I was like, yes.
Yes, just give me connected, please, to Lynn Alden, please.
Please. No, yeah, she's great. She has the most base takes, and I like her outlook on it too. She's very neutral. She comes at it from a very quantifiable, like reasonable perspective. And I just like I don't know, like I think we just need more of that in the world. I mean, obviously, yeah, she can get caught up in Twitter stuff like we all do, which I think is everyone's downfall and sometimes in this space. But like her work, at least as far as I've read, because I don't pay for her paper, it's just like it's really, really, really good. So no, I appreciate it though. I hope, and like I hope the Twitter spaces, like once you start talking in the Twitter spaces, you get more confidence.
Yep.
Because you're talking like amongst like these people who have been in this space like a lot longer. So
Yeah, because when I first started Twitter Spaces, because I'm not really good at public speaking, but when you talk in Twitter Spaces amongst many people, you're like, whoa, I can actually do this. Like I think the most I ever talked to was like 500 people in a Twitter space, and I'm like, wow, like I feel confident, I feel good, I did it. You know, even though it was a little rubbish here and there, but it's good. I highly
That's
recommend getting
insane.
involved. Yeah.
500. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of people. But like I said, once you get in the groove of it, I mean, you feel that confidence and you can continue doing it, spreading the word. I mean, it's really cool. I really enjoy Twitter Spaces. It's like Clubhouse. I think Clubhouse came out first, then Twitter Spaces. I think that's maybe where they got the inspiration from.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Instagram that's something. Well, they do Instagram Live, but it's not really the same thing. It's just you watching one person.
Yeah, but how is the crypto scene on Instagram? Because I deleted my Instagram back in 2017, 2018, and I have no idea if it's even existent on Instagram or Facebook for that matter. You know,
it's mostly TikTok. It's mostly Reels. The most of the crypto content on Instagram that happens to get through is mostly through Reels. Like, and if people are posting and they're posting about the events they went to, it's not like anything. I will say that they do have pretty good infographics. So for those people that are just getting into it, they want to see some quick stats and they want to see it all nice and like a feed. It's nice, obviously, but then when you go more into it, you want like your own RSS feed, you want, your own type of thing going. But it's not really for like crypto native people. Twitter's definitely for that, if anything, or Discord. And then Slack is like more, I see Slack of more where business actually gets done. Because I don't know, Discord is definitely more dev focused.
I agree. I totally agree with that. Yeah, because I actually got hacked in Discord too. Because I was trying to mint something. Yeah, I tried to mint something and I hit the mint and I'm like, crap. And the guy just took like, it was like $400 or whatever, but it wasn't like a lot, but still. So I don't know. Discord for me is like, it's kind of messy. I wish it was a little bit more, at least for me, like organized, I guess, because so many scammers can easily target people and just message them, pretend to be like the founders or whatever. And so I think there just needs to be a little bit more governance on that side. But beyond that, I totally agree. I think with Discord, it's more developers, whereas Slack is more the business side of things. It's like, okay, I get it. And regarding TikTok, I actually used to do a TikTok. I used to do a TikTok called Crypto Economist. And my buddy and I, we were doing it for a while, and we were getting a lot of traction, just reposting like clips and from like different news sources and everything. And people, there was engagement there. There was absolute engagement. But then we had like back off because we both got really busy with our lives. And so, but I'm thinking about starting that back up again because people's attention spans are so small. They're so small. And I think TikTok is a great place to kind of get that adoption starting for crypto and Bitcoin. I just think it's there. So, because I think that's the biggest piece. Education is the critical crux of like what can drive adoption in this space. Because if people don't understand something, they're not going to adopt it or invest in it. Like if I don't understand something, I'm not going to spend my time understanding it or put money in it. Like, no, I would never do that.
Yeah. The only thing I'd say to be careful on is like with TikTok and Instagram, I see a lot of people, they like want to 10x your blah, blah portfolio, do this. And it's like, it's a super easy trap. It's obviously like it's not an easy trap for those that know the space, but like for those people on TikTok, which are in the younger domain, it's like, it gives them a bad impression or fake impression of like how this space is really like. There's this good saying where there's nothing special about cryptocurrency. It's just different ways of accounting, right? And the fact that it's open source, right? And like we kind of just hype it up too much, like make it a whole buzzword, like blockchain a whole buzzword. So I guess the only thing, like the thing I don't like about TikTokers is like they'll just try and I don't know, glamorize all of it, like make it seem better than it really is, and it comes off as like an advertisement. But if it's like purely informational, then yeah, I mean, I think does Coin Bureau make TikToks?
I love Coin Bureau. I love that guy. I watch him on YouTube every single day almost. But I don't know if he does or not. He should. He has really informative videos. And I like his take. He's not like super biased. He's kind of like in the middle. He tries to come from a critical viewpoint, I think, at least some of his videos. But it would be cool if he did that. I think he's really informative. And he takes a good macro stance, which I really like. Coin Bureau.
Yeah.
He
I
does
like
have,
his. I like.
he does have
friends.
TikTok apparently. Let's see.
He does.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, 172,000 followers on TikTok.
It's not bad.
Yeah, because
Yeah, he's one of the. Go ahead.
He's more informational. Like I agree. He will take some jabs though, which is pretty funny. Mostly
Yeah.
especially when it has to do with like his government, because he's in the UK. So
I thought he went to Dubai recently. I thought he moved all his operations to Dubai. I thought that's happened recently.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would
Yeah, it's
too.
like a crypto utopia now. It's Dubai. It's one of those jurisdictions where people can have like I don't know if it's like a tax haven over there in crypto.
Mhm.
I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, no, I like his videos. Like I said, I think I watch him daily, almost on a daily basis. He's one of like the top 5 YouTubers or podcasters that I listen to or watch, and I listen to podcasts and YouTube like at least 4 to 5 every day. So
You're like me.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, you sure Jordan though?
You listen to the most.
Yeah, we all listen to a bunch every day.
Yeah. Who do you listen to the most, Jordan? Out of every.
Okay, this is embarrassing, but cryptos are us.
No, but that's me too. Okay,
That's
it's
not
not
bad.
me, but that's not bad.
Yeah, but I always listen to him on 2x speed. Literally only on 2x speed. He talks so slowly, and he's so repetitive. Like every day, it's like the same stuff. But I don't know. Like part of me is like, even though I'm not learning much from it, it's like if I listen to him and his whole audience every single day, and I've been doing it for like 1.5 years, like that is my market sense. That's like, oh, what, like that's like my lab rats. Like I listen to what they're feeling and saying, and to me yeah, it allows me to understand like how people think, I guess, how
Like
people's sentiment, exactly. That's like my source of market sentiment. And also, if there's any news, like I'm so lazy to read stuff that I'll just basically he's my secretary. He's like reading the news to me.
He does market opens with the.
Yeah, exactly, with the bell. Yeah, he just reads the news every day, basically. And then like people like show some shit coins, and he says like this one I wouldn't recommend, and this one like you should DCA. A lot of these people. Oh, another one I watch a lot of. I was a big fan of him 6 months ago for like the last year, Benjamin Cohen, but now I don't like him that much anymore. I mean, I still watch him. Like I still watch all of his. Actually, I still watch like all of his videos. Actually, there's about maybe like 8 channels that I watch like all of their videos. It's a bit crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that is.
I'm behind on George actually on Cryptozara since the class. I haven't, because he has 3.
He posts too much.
Exactly,
Too much.
he posts 3 a day. So the moment I start doing something else, that his list starts piling up. I'm a month behind on George. But yeah, Benjamin Cohen, he used to do really good analysis, but like I think it's hard to explain. I think he's actually becoming unobjective, even though people think he's being more objective now. I think the things, his analysis is not so good anymore. For the last 6 months, but I still watch it. Let's see, who else do I watch?
Yeah, he's on. I watch. My number one is Invest Answers. He's
really good. He's on DCA with.
He's on DCA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only watch Ben through him, but yeah, I watch Invest Answers because I don't understand everything and all his models all the time because he's really like smart, but I want to learn, so I watch him a lot. My dad and I both watch him, and he's pretty subjective, but I agree with a lot of his takes. So
Oh, pull up a new Zoom. Welcome back to Cryptos R Us.
I love it. No, that's great. That's great. I love it. Hopefully Franny can get back.
Yeah, I'm sure she will. Uh, actually, I'm gonna post the list of everyone I listen to. I sent it to someone. I'm gonna have to find it. Let's see. Oh, it must be. It's here. I think here it is. Should I put it in chat here? I guess I'll put it in chat here.
yeah.
Kitco News.
Yeah, put it in the chat because I'm very curious. Some of the guys you've listened to, I've never listened to, so I need to like listen to these people that you guys both listen to. So
Yeah. This order is supposed to be from my favorites to least favorites. Actually, Kitco News, the one at the end, I just added, so that one should be higher up. That one's actually not bad, but
Crypto.
yeah. Like he's like full trader, but I mean he's super like rich. Like he was like broke like 4 years ago. What are your opinions on Crypto?
I wouldn't expect you to listen to Crypto. I mean, I
Why?
don't. I barely watch him because he just again goes into like that.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like
He's just a
rock
trader.
sometimes. Yeah.
Do you know Carl the Moon? Like he's friends with um. Okay, Carl the Moon is close friends with Crypto, but he's like I used to watch the Moon like 3 years ago. I thought he had good analysis, and in the last 2 years, he's just been shilling Casta, like, and he's just been like almost scamming people. So he's off my list now. Like he's not even on this list anymore. Even though I used to watch him, Crypto I think is actually quite based. Like even though he's just a pure trader, and every video he shills his Bybit link, right? But he doesn't say you have to use it. He always says like you shouldn't use it unless you're an expert trader. And actually I think even if you're an expert trader, you shouldn't be using leverage in Bybit. But his analysis is pretty good. So yeah, Saifedean Ammous and Andreas Antonopoulos are like probably the best two people in crypto and in Bitcoin. Bitcoin Magazine, Simply Bitcoin.
I like
Stansberry.
Andre Drake. I like Andre Drake.
Yeah,
and
he's pretty good. He's not like a blockchain crypto expert. He's from like a more like a financial perspective.
interesting. I haven't heard of some of these. I like Natalie's
Yeah, same.
podcast. Peter McCormack. I don't know who I think Jeff Booth. Jeff Booth doesn't have his own thing, but I think Jeff Booth, Lynn Alden are like my top two. I also like I like Nick Carter, but more of his written work. And then like to get an overall like market perspective, I listen to like Peter McCormack or like Preston Fish.
Yeah,
Scott Melker was on Peter McCormack.
I didn't know that actually. That's
Pretty
cool.
sure. Let's see. Oh yeah, Real Vision. I watch Rob Paul a lot. I know a lot of
I
people
like
don't
Raw
like
Paul.
him. I know a lot of
I
people
like
don't
Raw
like
Paul.
him, but I do watch him.
So I used to be a huge fan of him like 3 years ago. But then like he was holding like 90% Bitcoin or something, and then like all of a sudden 1 week he's like, I only hold 10% Bitcoin, I hold 90% Ethereum, and then he started saying some things that didn't make that much sense to me, like like he was saying he's only holding Bitcoin because he wants to show his clients that at least, like, because he's telling his clients to hold Bitcoin, but if he doesn't hold any, then he'll look bad. Like, to me, that's not a good reason to hold something, is to look good or bad. I'm still a fan of him, and I think he veered off a little bit. I think he like got caught off track a little bit, and he was like, he was talking about Luna as a good idea as well, along with Mike Novogratz, and actually a lot of Bitcoiners thought it was a good idea. I actually, one of my friends lost a good amount of money in Luna, and he told me he was in on it, but I didn't look too much into it. And then I did look into it, and I was like, I see a huge hole here, and I regret not posting a video on it, because literally like 2 months before Luna crashed, I saw the hole. If I posted a video on it, I think like that would have been a very very accurate call. Do you guys know how Luna works or why it crashed?
Well, I know
Go
that.
ahead,
Well, it wasn't the origin, but the bank runs was just a lot of liquidations that people saw that to begin with. That's how it lost so much money. But I don't know specifically like why the algorithm was unsustainable, other than the fact that you can't provide 20% yield on these protocols. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, you just made me realize, even though it's too late, I'm still gonna make that video explaining why Luna didn't work. If I made it literally 2 months before it crashed, like I'd be famous. No, not really, but you know what I mean. Like I would have called it.
You should make it.
And even worse is like, yeah, I should make it. And even worse is like my friend was in on it, and I was afraid to tell him, because like it's not that I'm afraid. It's like I've learned now that if I see someone do something wrong, I should tell them, because 8 months ago when he told me, I was still in the stance of live and let live, and it's not exactly wrong, but I was like, who am I to tell someone what they should or shouldn't do? He's probably looked into Luna more than I have. I shouldn't give anyone financial advice. They should only do something if they understand. But now I've changed my mindset. Okay, I guess I became a little bit more maxi since then, or whatever you call it. Like how Saifuddin says like toxic maximalism is because you don't want people to get hurt. Like I used to be like, it's none of my business. Like everyone should do what they want to do, and like I'll just try to teach people. But now I'm thinking, if I see someone do something dumb, I'm gonna at least tell them what I think. And still tell them that, look, you don't have to do what I say, but here's what I think, and I think it's important for me to be clear. So let's see, Luna, seigniorage mechanism.
Yeah, I definitely would love a video on
Bankless,
that.
Coinbureau, Real Vision, Crypto Lark, Anthony. I haven't watched Crypto Lark. The other ones I've watched.
He's kind of, I don't know, like he gives me like updated news every now and then. Like he's up to date on the news, but he does show like Bybit and some other things. I'm like, oh, dude, just stop going off that. And so I used to show Celsius too. So I've kind of fallen off from him, but there's still relevant news that he has some good insight on. So that's why I listen to Crypto Lark every now and then.
I really like Bankless. And I don't like them. I don't like them because they're ETH heads. I like them because of the news they choose to cover and the way they cover it. But yeah, I mean, I really like it. And I thought when I first heard, the first time I ever heard Bankless is when they had Lynn Alden on. In that debate. But and then I was like, oh, maybe they're just coming at it from a really perspective. But I really like, after listening to them, they are probably also my top. I don't watch them. I listen to them on Spotify, and like they're like one of my top podcasts other than what Bitcoin did. So
yeah, my favorite podcast they did recently was with Balaji. Basically talking about the network state, and I thought it was just really fascinating. And people have been talking about like Lex Friedman and Balaj having like an 8-hour podcast. I'm like, 8 hours? I'm like, dude, I have to listen to this. So it's on my list of things to do this week.
Who's Balaj? That's not our instructor, right? Not our coach.
No. So Balaji, is it? That would be funny if it was. That'd be funny if it was. But no, Balaji, he created the network state, a book. It's basically, you can only get on Kindle format. And so he's basically outlining, like, instead of like the nation state, he's like saying, hey, the network state's gonna be more effective. Right? The nation state's still gonna exist, but it's gonna dwindle in power as cryptocurrencies become more proliferate over time. And so it's kind of interesting. I haven't read it personally. I just know a preface of like what it's about. So, but apparently Lex Friedman had him on his podcast, and it was like 8 hours long. Apparently, like a really good conversation.
I was just talking about this with my friend yesterday. It's funny you say that, and I didn't know how to describe it. I told him, I said, we're not gonna like live within the borders of that the state gives us. And I was like, it's going to be whatever protocol you want to be part of. It's just going to be, that's what you want to be a part of. And you're going to have these really cool data visualizers. They already have this for like Ethereum nodes, Bitcoin nodes, and all that. Just show like all the people that are plugged in. And I didn't know how to describe it, but now that you say that, I'm definitely going to look into it and recommend that to my friend. Because my friend, he had a really good question. He was like, okay, like how do we actually government? Like how do we actually have a good government? Because like none of this stuff is working out for us here. And that's when we kind of go to the technological standpoint, because a lot like humans are flawed. So like and we when we ask ourselves big questions, we fail to understand that now we have technology, right? And like, well, not just technology. Now we have like really advanced technology that can almost simulate like a human. And we were kind of like talking about that, but that's good that you recommend that. I'm gonna look into that for sure.
Yeah, because like when I saw it was like 8 hours, I'm like, man, this must have been like a great discussion. It had to be really good because Lex Freeman, some of his podcasts are just absolutely incredible. When I watch him, I'm like, wow, my mind is sometimes blown away but from some of the people he's had on his channel. And so I definitely need to watch it because Balaji, I mean, a lot of people are starting to discuss about him in the network state, and I'm just like, I need to learn more about it. I just need to learn more.
I've been listening to Andreas recently. I never really listened to him. But I knew who he was, but I haven't listened to him back then. But after listening to him, I was like, whoa, like this guy's like crazy.
Andreas Antonopoulos.
Yeah.
Love Andreas.
I think of him as like a retired like I think he's already retired from Bitcoin teaching. The reason is because he covered every topic way before everyone else. Like from 2013 to 2017, he was covering every topic, and then now people are just starting to learn what he said back then. So there's no reason why he has to say them again. So he's like retired.
Yeah.
Just watch his old videos, basically. Okay. Two things I want to say. One is another thing I forgot why I fell out of love with like Raoul Pal, but I think he's coming back to the light. I think he veered off. He was saying another ridiculous thing, which is you should never hold Bitcoin because during the bull market you should hold altcoins, and during the bear market you should hold US dollars. And so why would you ever need to hold Bitcoin when in the bull market you can outperform Bitcoin with altcoins, and in the bear market you can hold US dollars? But like my answer to him, if I can talk to him, is no, that's the wrong answer. Here's the right answer. You hold Bitcoin during the bull market and you hold Bitcoin during the bear market. You don't like, because he's hypothesizing that everyone can know when the bear market comes and when the bull market comes, right? If everyone was an expert trader, then yeah, you should always 100 leverage on the altcoin that's going to go 1,000x, and everyone can be trillionaires. Like that just doesn't work. If you hold altcoins during bull market, you're taking tremendous risk because most people are not traders. And then you hold dollars during bear markets, that's when the government can rug everyone. If you hold Bitcoin during both, yes, you lose to the altcoins during bull markets, but you still win, even though you don't win as hard as the altcoins. And then you maybe you lose more money than US dollars, but you can't get rugged. And the overall, it's like, the overall is better, like,
of course,
you know. Yeah. So like when he said that, I'm like, wait, there's a much simpler and better solution than switching sides every 2 years. Just hold Bitcoin through both, and then you win more than the average, and you take less risk than the average. Like if you do the trading thing, you're taking more risk and you're not going to be making as much, because also a lot of altcoins go to zero. Like you're only looking at 1% of the altcoins, or 10% of them outperform Bitcoin, and then in the end 99% of them still way underperform Bitcoin. And Michael, if you're still here, I have a little homework assignment for you guys right now, just for 3 minutes. For 3 minutes, watch this video on how Terra works. It's from 2020, so it was on the launch of Terra. It's not like a new video. That's like just to understand how it works. So for 3 minutes, we're just gonna watch this together, okay? And then I can explain where I saw the hole.
How does Terra work? This is 1 Terra US dollar, or UST for short. It's a currency built on Terra's blockchain. The price of 1 UST is determined by how many people want it, and by how much UST is available. Let's Let's imagine the entire Terra economy as a pool. The size of the pool is determined by the total supply of UST. If more people want UST, the tide rises, and if less people want UST, the tide falls. The height of the pool represents the value of each UST. If you can do more with UST, like buy coffee or invest in stocks, more people will want to buy UST, driving up its price. To bring back the water level to $1, we can expand the pool by introducing a new supply of UST. But where does new UST come from? At Terra, we've designed a machine that swaps $1 worth of Luna to 1 UST. Investors who predict UST will be more useful and used in the future can buy and hold Luna. When the value of UST rises above $1, any Luna holder can swap $1 worth of Luna for 1 UST and sell each UST for more than $1, making a profit. The newly introduced UST expands the pool, bringing its price back to the $1 peg. Now, Luna is more scarce and therefore more valuable. During times of contraction, any UST holder can profit by swapping UST for Luna, raising the price of 1 UST back to $1. As UST becomes more useful in the long run, Luna holders are rewarded for assuming the risk of short-term price volatility. So how exactly does the machine work? When Luna is swapped for UST, a certain percentage is burned, and the rest piles up in a community pool. From the other end, new UST is printed. This process is called seigniorage. As more applications are built using UST, massive demand will cause price to deviate above the $1 peg, meaning we need more Luna swapped for UST to expand supply. Meanwhile, Luna becomes more and more valuable, and the community pool accumulates more funds. The funds in the community pool are reinvested to build more apps that use UST, and the virtuous cycle of growth continues. Investors who hold Luna see its value rise during times of expansion, and if they choose to stake, earn transaction fees on UST. Even when demand for UST is low, Terra's algorithm automatically increases fees so that validators are always rewarded with a steady cash flow of UST. With Luna, you can do so much more than earn passive income. Luna holders can participate in Terra's governance process, proposing or voting for changes in transaction fees, seigniorage allocation, tax rate, and many more. Luna not only collateralizes UST, but also many more world currencies like Korean won and the IMF SDR on the Terra blockchain. Much like the Moon, which stabilizes the Earth's rotation, Luna and its stakers are essential to Terra's stability. Join us on our mission to create a truly open and transparent monetary platform that no one controls, setting money free for billions worldwide.
Okay, so I just finished watching it.
Yes, I also finished because we watched at the same time. Franny, do you need a few more seconds?
No, I'm done.
Okay. Go ahead, Michael.
So I'm still kind of confused, like, on the issuance and how it all really works. So the more Luna, so you contribute Luna to Terra, more Terra is put into circulation, and less Luna, so it decreases Luna's supply. Is that correct?
Let me explain it. Let me explain it. Because I watched when my friend told me about it. I didn't really look. I'm like, because he told me and he was in profit. Like so I'm like, oh, good job, congrats. But then like 1 month later, I looked into it. When I looked into it, I watched like 3 or 4 different of these videos. So maybe this one video isn't enough. But let me explain how it works. Okay, So first, there's no UST, right? In the beginning, there's no UST. It's just Luna. Now, the utility of Luna, it has no purpose other than to mint USTs. Luna's only purpose is to mint USTs. And what they've designed is basically, it's like a smart way of splitting risk between people. So they were trying to design an algorithmic stablecoin. So what an algorithmic stablecoin theoretically should do is it should somehow use algorithms and people to keep the price of something stable. So their solution to this is, if it goes, their solution to this is basically, at any time, you can give them a Luna through their Synerage machine. So the Synerage machine is the machine that converts Luna to UST and UST back to Luna. This machine guarantees, using an oracle which reads the current market price of Luna UST, that it will always convert it at $1 for $1. So let's say Luna is $1 per Luna. You have to give them 1 Luna to get 1 UST. But if the market price goes up to 1 Luna equals $100, when you give them 1 Luna, you get 100 UST back. So what that means is, people who hold UST, they can be sure, that's what people thought, they can be sure that the price would stay at $1. Because if the price of UST went up to like $1.01, people would just buy up these USTs, convert the UST back into Luna at the market price, and immediately sell it on the market for a profit. Let's just like use some hypothetical scenarios, okay? Let's say UST went up to $2 per UST. It's not supposed to be at $2 per UST. It's supposed to be at $1 per UST, right? So what happens if UST is at $2? You can buy 100 UST. Well, the other way around. Yes, if it's at $2 per UST, you can buy $100 of Luna. You paid $100. You use the conversion machine. Which says, you get so the machine says you get however much UST is equal to the US dollar of the Luna. So if you buy $100 of Luna, which let's say it's 1 Luna equals $100, you buy 1 Luna, you pay $100 out of your pocket, you put that Luna through the machine, you get 100 USTs. Because the machine says whatever price the UST is at, you get that amount in, whatever price the Luna is at, you get that amount in UST. So you put in 1 Luna, you get 100 USTs. But the current market price of UST, as I said earlier, is $2 per UST. So you just made $100. You doubled your money because you have 100 USTs that you paid $100 for through the Synerage machine, but you can sell it on the market for $2 a piece, right? We started with the assumption that Luna is currently, for some reason, trading at $2, UST. I keep getting the words, but you understand me, right? I keep getting the words confused for some reason. But if it's $2 per UST on the free market, you can just buy Luna to arbitrage away that extra amount until it goes down to $1, and you make money by buying Luna. And the other way around, it's the same thing. If UST falls below $1 a piece, let's say UST falls to 50 cents a piece for some reason, what you would do is you would just buy a lot of these USTs and convert them through the Synerage machine to Luna, and then dump the Luna onto the market. So let's say UST is 50 cents for 1 UST. You would buy 50 of these for $50. You would buy 100 of these for $50 because it's 50 cents each. So now you have 100 USTs. Now you send 100 USTs through the Synerage machine. What does the Synerage machine do? Well, it reads, okay, you put in 100 USTs. The price of Luna on the market is $100 US per Luna, which means if you put in 100 USTs, we will give you 1 Luna. So now you get that 1 Luna, you sell the 1 Luna on the free market for $100. You paid 50, you sold for 100, you make $50. So what they've designed is basically a mechanism where one side of the people take no risk up or down, and the for the price of the token, only contracting of the overall supply. So if demand of UST goes up or down, the price doesn't change, the supply changes. Because people can buy USTs and sell them into Luna, or buy Luna and mint USTs. So it's like a flexible supply. So on one side is UST, the supply is flexible, but the price is not. The price, theoretically, right? This is what everyone thought. The price should stay stable because you can keep expanding and contracting the supply, whereas all of the price risk is handled on Luna side. So if you want stability, you hold UST. If you want the gains, this is what my friend did. He held Luna. He wanted the gains because he assumed, along with everyone else, that UST, the stablecoin, because back then stablecoin was really popular, and it still probably is. Everyone thought, Luna was going to go to a UST was going to go to like $1 trillion market cap. Everyone was going to use this as their stablecoin because it's a algorithmic stablecoin. It's a decentralized stablecoin. It's better than USDC, USDT because no one can regulate it because it uses this smart contract seigniorage machine to balance its price. Is that more clear on how it works? Or if you have more questions?
Yeah. So I'm sorry, it's a little hard to wrap around my head. So wait, was it that the arbitrage was really only benefiting the one side of it, and that the problem was that in the end it wasn't really at one because the supply didn't match up to actually peg it to one? I'm trying to like format this.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
okay.
That's essentially it. But the whole, first we have to fully understand how it works. So Michael and Franny, do you guys both like understand how it works? And if you don't, I would like to clear it up more, because then the whole would make a lot more sense. Only if you really understand what this machine is supposed to do.
Well, the machine is supposed to, like, every time you, like, it's supposed to convert Luna, or not convert, but redeem, I guess, their Luna into UST, right? But
also, how does it convert? Do you know?
Right. No, I don't know that. Like,
it's very simple.
Was it that you sell it?
It's very simple. It burns and then creates. So it burns Luna. So the machine, on one hand it burns, and then on the other hand it mints. So if you put in one Luna, it burns that Luna. Boom! You paid $100 for the Luna. It's gone. It burns it, and then it creates 100 USTs out of thin air, mints it, and boom, you got 100. So you got 100 extra UST, and the overall supply of UST increased by 100. So the
Luna decreased.
Exactly.
Right,
the Luna supply decreased by 1 Luna. UST supply increased by 100 UST.
And the problem was that you were, because we still price everything in dollars, so when you got that 100 UST, you would think, I still have my $100, when that really wasn't the picture, right?
Well, in theory, is if UST's price went down, as the example I gave earlier, if the price of UST went to 50 cents per UST, a lot of traders would come in, buy that up, and when you buy something, its price goes up. That's how like the price.
Those arbitrage opportunities, right?
Yes, that's the arbitrage opportunity. If a lot of people buy something, you will bid up the price on like Binance or Bybit or whatever. So if UST goes to 50 cents per UST, a bunch of people would buy UST and convert it to Luna through the seigniorage machine, and then sell the Luna on the other side. They get the Luna, they sell it, and they make double the money. If you can buy 50 cents of I'm going to run through that example again, the 50 cents example. So let's say Luna, UST is somehow at 50 cents each. You would spend $50 to buy 100 USTs. So far, you following along?
Yeah.
Okay.
50 cents.
Now you have 100.
Yeah, I'm following along.
Now you have 100 USTs. You put the 100 USTs through the seigniorage machine. You get whatever that amount is equal to in US dollars of Luna. So let's say Luna is $100 for 1 Luna. You would get 1 Luna because you put in 100 UST. Let's change the numbers a bit. Let's say Luna is $50 per Luna. $50 per Luna. through an oracle. Do you know what you know what an oracle is, right?
Yeah.
Something that
Yeah.
reads the current market
Yeah.
price. So through an oracle that
Right.
reads Binance's price, oh, people are currently buying and selling Luna at $50 per Luna. So you have 100 UST, you put in 100 UST, it burns the 100 UST, so it just destroys it and gives you 2 Lunas. Right? Because, are you following along so far?
Wait, you change the numbers, but where do you get 2 Lunas from?
That's the question. That is the whole. That is the whole. That's why I had to have you guys understand exactly how the machine worked. So the whole, everyone was watching. That video has like 300,000 views. People, there were billions. 10 minutes left before I have to refresh. There was like $30 billion invested into Luna, but everyone watched this video and assumed it worked, but they didn't ask where the Luna came from. That is the hole that I spotted. That is the problem. When you burn UST, where does the Luna come from? Okay, so let's step back one step. When you burn Luna to mint UST in the first place, right? Before there was no UST, just Luna. When you start burning Luna to mint UST, that kind of made sense because Luna has in the beginning there was a fixed supply of Luna. Every time you burn it, you're reducing the supply of Luna, which theoretically would increase its price. That's why Luna kept going up, because it got more and more scarce. But UST, it doesn't matter if you print a bunch of UST. You only print more when people need to use more. So that works. But what people missed was the reverse process. When you burn UST, you have to create Luna. Now the question is, where does that Luna come from? And so my answer was, well, there's only 2 places it can possibly come from. One, that Luna can be held by LFG, which is Luna Foundation Guard, which is basically Do Kwon and his team who are running Luna. Okay, so that Luna is either coming from their backup storage, LFG's storage, or it's being minted out of thin air. So if it's given by LFG, that means it's not decentralized. They were saying it's a decentralized algorithm. It's not decentralized if they are holding it in reserves. Okay, and then the other option, if it's created out of thin air, that means Luna is not scarce. So it's a token. So they were claiming that Luna is scarce and that it's deflationary and that it's decentralized. So one of those two cannot be true. If it's created out of thin air, that means it's not scarce. So if you're holding Luna, you're holding a token that has no utility, and it's also not scarce. So it's guaranteed to have no value. People didn't see that, and they just assumed there will always be more demand for UST.
Right.
And then and what you said earlier, which is exactly the same as what I said, it's just a different way to say it. What you said was,
because there was 2 ways. Because I see it, like I'm seeing it now, where I'm looking at it through. It works this way, but what about the other way, right? Because you're not gonna have, I guess, with like arbitrage, it has to be both party. There has to be it has to balance out on both sides. Whether there's demand to buy whatever the person's selling, and then there's people selling and people buying on the other side. So I don't know if it makes much sense, but I see what you're saying now. So that makes
yes, and then to add on to what you said earlier, is what you were trying to say is also correct. It's just the other side of the coin. It's a different way of saying the same thing as what I said. So the conversion back from UST to Luna, it works only for a period of time. So people were converting it back too. Like it was working, right? But it only works so long as the market cap of Luna is bigger than the market cap of UST.
But the issue was someone bought up so much UST and they wanted to redeem it for Luna, right? And then there wasn't enough Luna to go ahead and supplement that. So that's why it collapsed, correct?
Exactly. So this backward thing, the reason why people didn't see the hole that I saw is because it was working. Like it was working because Luna's market cap was bigger than UST's market cap. So what that means is, let's say there's $10 billion in Luna, $5 billion in UST. What that means is, if everyone tried to convert their UST back to Luna, all of a sudden, you would mint...
Collapse.
No, it's fine so far. Like, because $10 billion of Luna, $5 billion of UST.
I think it's 10 million.
Sorry. That is at 10 billion. So let's say, let's just use some easy numbers. Let's say it's $10 billion market cap for Luna, and it's $10 per Luna. So it's 1 billion Lunas and 5 billion USTs. 1 billion Lunas, okay, maybe that's actually quite confusing. Let's do $1 per Luna. So let's say Luna is exactly $1 per Luna. So we have 10 billion Lunas and 5 billion USTs. If all of a sudden everyone tried to convert the UST to Luna, you would burn 5 billion USTs and mint 5 billion Lunas. Luna's supply goes up from 10 billion to 15 billion. And the amount of that's not a very good explanation. Essentially, there's enough money and demand over here that it can absorb all of the people selling here. So there's $10 billion of people buying and selling Luna, and so basically there's 10 billion people of dollars trying to buy Luna, but $5 billion here trying to sell UST. So if they try to sell all of this UST converted to Luna, there would be enough buyers to support that. But if there is, let's say there is, actually, this is way more clear now. This one will be way more clear. The reverse is way more easy to understand. Let's say there's $1 billion in Luna and $10 billion in UST. So the market cap of Luna is $1 billion. That means people are buying and selling about $1 billion worth of Luna, but there's people think they hold $10 billion in UST. If everyone tries to withdraw their UST through the Seigniorage machine, where are they going to find 10 billion US dollars of people buying Luna to support this exit demand? Because no matter how complex the machine is, the amount going in and the amount coming out is the same, right? If you are trying to withdraw $10 billion of UST, then you expect to get 10 billion US dollars in the end. In order for you to get 10 billion US dollars out, there needs to be people buying $10 billion of Luna. But Luna's market cap is only $1 billion. So you can't buy $10 billion of Luna. If you bought all the Luna in the world, you're spending $1 billion US dollars. So the exit liquidity is at maximum $1 billion US dollars, but you believe there's 10 billion Lunas, which each can be sold as $1 of Luna through the Seigniorage machine. It's impossible. So the reverse is way more easier to understand. So yes, when Luna is bigger than UST, you can exit. But when Luna is smaller than UST, everyone is, yes, like the 10 billion people, the $10 billion people are holding are each trying to find $1 US to be sold here, but there isn't enough. So they keep bidding. So that's why the price collapses. The price collapse is not, this is a misconception. Luna crashed because people short sold it, because traders, Sam Bankman-Fried or whatever, short sold it until it crashed and it never recovered. That's a misconception. It was guaranteed to go down. Maybe he saw it before other people, so he took advantage to ride the crash before other people did. But if he didn't ride it, everyone else would have rode it. It would have crashed anyways, because the moment this gets smaller than this, it's impossible to find enough US dollars to sell all of the UST for. So people will keep bidding lower and lower. Like if you were holding some of this, you would say, okay, oh my God, like okay, I know I can't get $1 for 1 UST. I'm willing to sell my 1 UST for 50 cents. And then someone else says, I'm willing to, like it just keeps getting lower and lower. Someone else says,
and that doesn't support the value of UST. When you bid lower and lower.
yes, once the market cap of Luna goes lower than USTs, the machine will try to print an infinite amount of Lunas in order to get this to get this exit. So this made a lot of sense in my head, but it's been 5 months and I've been like diving deep into Bitcoin. So I need to re-clarify the thoughts exactly before I make a video on this. But essentially, like,
All right, back. I'm enjoying the discussion. It's really good.
I'm trying to clarify my thoughts while so I'm like thinking out loud. Okay, so 10 billion dollars of UST, $1 billion of Luna. Let's say we try to sell $1 billion of UST to Luna through the machine. So we put 1 billion UST in here. How many? Well, let me ask some questions. Like, how many Lunas would it have to print when you put 1 billion USTs in at the current price? There's 1 billion Lunas, each at $1 each. How many Lunas would it print if you put 1 billion USTs in?
Be 1 billion Lunas. I don't know.
Yeah, 1 billion
because
Lunas.
if UST is supposed to be 1-to-1,
Gameable, right? It would be 1 billion.
Yes. So you print 1 billion Lunas. So you doubled the supply of Luna. It went from 1 billion to 2 billion. 2 billion supply of Luna, and because of supply and demand, because there's twice as much, the value of Luna, of each Luna, is half as much as it was before due to market forces, due to market supply and demand. There's twice as many Lunas now. Assuming the demand, if the demand all of a sudden doubled as well, then it stays at the same price. But that doesn't happen, right? Demand for Luna from 1 minute to the next minute is basically the same. So all of a sudden, Luna's demand is the same, so its price falls 50%. So now we try to sell another 1 billion. Oh, and by the way, because its price fell 50%, that 1 billion UST you had, you sold it on the market for $500 million. Because you have 1 billion Luna, but it's 50 cents each because of the crash of price, because of increase of supply. So you lost half of the money on the on the first. That's the first 1 billion USTs, and then we do it again. Now let's convert another 1 billion USTs to Luna. How many Lunas do you print now when you put 1 billion UST in?
Be half that. No?
What's the number?
500 mil. Wait, 1 billion. If you're getting 1 billion UST. Oh God. At 50 cents.
Well, let's take just one step back. So what's the current price of 1 Luna?
It decreased, right?
Yes.
It decreased from $1 to 50 cents.
Yes.
Correct?
Correct.
And so then if you put, go ahead.
Yes. So now let's go. Now let's keep going. You put in 1 billion USTs. How many Lunas does the machine give you? The Signorage machine.
Well, it'd be less, right? It'd be less than less than a billion. So it'd be half of that, correct? So it would be 500 million. I think Franny's right. 500 million, is that correct, or is the math off?
Almost, but it's actually the reverse. It gives you 2 billion Lunas, because remember what the machine says is that it gives you the US dollar amount in Luna equal to whatever amount of UST you put in. So if you put in $1 billion, if you not $1 billion of UST, because at this point UST its price is already depegging, but the machine doesn't care about UST's price. It assumes 1 UST is equal to $1. So if you put in 1 billion USTs, the machine says, I will give you $1 billion worth of Luna. Luna is 50 cents each. So it has to give you 2 billion Lunas at 50 cents each to equal 1 billion US dollars. Are you following along so far?
So the machine doesn't only burn, but it also makes up for the fact that it needs to equal.
That's exactly.
Whatever.
The machine is pegged to Binance or whatever exchange's price through an oracle. So, Michael, do you see why it's 2 billion Lunas and not 500 million?
Yes, I do now.
Because only if you understand why, then we can continue forward. Because otherwise, you'll just lose track. So yes, if Luna's price goes down, the machine will keep trying to print more and more because its job is, it says we will give you $1 of Luna for each UST you put in. Doesn't matter what the price of UST is. That's the whole. If it cared about UST's price, it wouldn't be able to do that thing where it expands the supply here and adjusts the price of Luna. It has to assume 1 UST equals $1, even if on the market it's depegging and UST is 20 cents per UST or 80 cents or whatever. It has to ignore that. If it didn't ignore that, it wouldn't have worked in the first place. It has to ignore and just assume 1 UST equals $1. So if you put in 1 billion USTs, it'll attempt to give you $1 billion worth of Luna. But since Luna is now at 50 cents, it'll give you 2 billion Lunas. So the supply went from 1 billion in the beginning to 2 billion Lunas, and now it's at now what's the current supply of Luna? After that
3 billion. How many were in to begin with?
1 billion to begin with, and then
So if you're getting 2 billion.
Yes, that's after the first time we sold 1 billion USTs, but we've already done that the second time. The second time we sold UST, so we did that twice. Remember, we sold 2 billion USTs. No,
if I'm thinking about.
Close. So we've done this thing twice. First we converted 1 billion USTs, and then we did it again. So when we started we had a 1 billion supply in Luna. After the first conversion, what was the supply? Like you answered this, by the way, 10 minutes ago. You gave me the answer. What was the supply after the first conversion?
2 billion.
Yeah, 2 billion Luna. And then after the second conversion, which is where we are
3
now.
billion. Or would it be 4? No.
5.
You're testing your math and it's
Yeah, 5. No, because if you're saying we're doing it a second time, we're doing another 2 billion. So I'm adding 1 plus 2 plus 2.
So it's actually 1 plus 1 plus 2. It's 4 billion in total.
Why is it? Wait, but I thought for the second time where we printed another 2, we had another 2 billion.
Yes, but the first time we only printed 1 billion.
I see.
So if I speed run through it from the beginning again, we start with 1 billion Lunas at $1 each, and 10 billion USTs at supposedly $1 each. You convert 1 billion USTs. How many Lunas does the machine give you when you put in the beginning? When you put in 1 billion USTs, how much Luna does it give you? On the first conversion.
1 billion.
1 billion. So now what's the total supply of Luna?
2 billion.
Okay, 2 billion, and because its supply doubled, but the demand did not change because it's like 1 minute to the next minute. Demand didn't change. What happens to the price of Luna if the supply doubles?
It decreases.
The price decreases by how much?
If it by half.
Exactly. Its price decreases by half. So now you have 2 billion lunas
that are half the
that is
price.
still worth 1 billion in total. 50 cents each, 2 billion lunas, occupying the same market cap. Because all you did was print more lunas, but the demand didn't change. That's how supply demand works. If you have double the supply, same demand, that's how inflation works, right? US dollars, if you print twice as many dollars, each dollar is worth half as much as it was yesterday. So that's the first iteration. Now the second time through, you convert another billion USTs into Luna. Now how many lunas does the machine give you?
Would be
Like, we're just speeding through what we said in the last 20 minutes. Yeah.
If you have 2 billion.
Exactly. So how did you get the answer? I mean, it's not that.
Yeah. So because we, again, how do I say it? You need to have more for them to be equal to that value.
Yes. So here's what the machine does. Let's think from the perspective of the seigniorage machine. Okay. You give it 1 billion USTs. This is what it does. It uses the oracle. It looks at Binance's price. It looks at Binance and says, okay, 1 Luna is 50 cents. Okay, so you gave me 1 billion USTs. I need to give you $1 billion of Luna. How many Lunas is equal to $1 billion at 50 cents each? Okay, 1 billion divided by 0.5. That's the math. 1 billion divided by 0.5, which is 50 cents per Luna, equals 2 billion Lunas. You give me 1 billion UST, I give you 1 billion US dollars of Luna. You give me 1 billion UST, I read Binance's price is 50 cents. Okay, so I need to give you 2 billion Lunas. At the current market price, that equals $1 billion. And then the machine claps. It's like, oh, look, I did a good job. I gave you however much US dollars worth of Luna is for your USTs. 1 UST for $1 of Luna. So now it prints 2 billion Lunas. Now what's the total supply of Luna?
Wait.
I'm surprised you don't have this recorded because unfortunately I have to get going. I have guests that just came in, but I'd like to continue this discussion. I really enjoy this.
I actually do have it. I do have it recorded actually. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, not on Zoom, but I have a streaming. It's not live streaming, but I have it recorded on my PC.
My mind it just keeps going back and forth from the numbers because I'm still trying to conceptualize the inflation.
Yeah, and so Michael, do you have to go?
I do have to go. So
yeah,
Jordan,
I'll talk to you later.
Share
then.
whatever you and Franny talk about. Yeah, because I want to do this again, and I want to get Brenda in here. And we should all just start a Twitter space. I would enjoy having discussions about Bitcoin, crypto, about Terra Crash. Yeah, no,
we will continue, and I'll make like an animation or like PowerPoint or whatever on it.
Yeah, I would love to do that. So let's definitely coordinate that and try to figure that out. Because, like I said, I'd love to continue this discussion. Unfortunately, I do have to go, but it's great talking to you guys. I enjoyed the topics and conversations that we discussed. I can't wait to talk more in the future because you guys are both great. So yeah, I'm excited, man. This is great. I'm enjoying this stuff.
Thanks for stopping in, Michael.
Yeah, talk to you again. Have a great. Bye.
No, yeah, okay, yeah. No, I'm really bad with mental math, so you're gonna have to like.
You can get it if you want. You can get a piece of paper.
I like the if you have like a PowerPoint with the machine, and you had like the pools, I get it because I understand that it's unsustainable to have a huge amount of Luna equal to that UST amount, right? Like you're just injecting the system with more worthless like money, basically, and you're assuming the machine or the mechanism is assuming that people are going to the price is going to go back and then people are going to arbitrage that and go back to UST. I think. Is that what it's assuming, and that's what's wrong?
The hole that people missed was Luna is exactly what you said. Where does the Luna come from? The Sinraj machine, when you convert Luna to UST, it burns Luna, mints UST. So far, so good. When it goes back, it burns UST, mints Luna. So far, so good. It sounds like, oh, people thought so far, so good, but they didn't pay attention to that. Where on the way back, where does the Luna come from? And my answer was, it has to come from two places. Either someone's holding the Luna, or no one's holding the Luna. It's created from thin air. Like, it can't be anything else, right? It's either the Luna already existed, someone's holding it, LFG is holding it in their bank, now they're giving it to you, or no one's holding it. It's just created out of thin air, right? It can't be anything else. Either the Luna existed already and you're giving it to someone, or it didn't exist and you have to create it. So if someone's holding it, it's not centralized. It's not decentralized. If someone's holding it, it's centralized. If you have to create it out of thin air, it's not scarce.
So you just have another state.
Bitcoin has a guaranteed scarcity. The only way you can change Bitcoin's scarcity is you have to go to every miner and every node and find their computer and change their code. You have to physically go there and change their code. And you have to make sure you find any of their backups, because if they have any backups, they'll just delete your code and use their backup, and and then you failed. You haven't changed. So you have to go and change every single node's code to change Bitcoin supply. But the Sinraj machine, if it's minting Luna out of thin air, usually it doesn't mint an infinite amount of Luna. But when Luna's market cap,
it doesn't mint an infinite amount of Luna.
Usually it doesn't. If Luna's market cap is bigger than UST's. Yes, then there's enough money here, you can exit through that thing. But the example we were walking through for the last 20 minutes, the reason why I wanted you to do a little bit of mental math is to prove that when it's the other way around, when Luna's market cap is less than UST's, it's impossible to get all of the UST to exit at $1 each.
So that's the whole.
So the machine will keep trying to print Luna. Yes, it's an unsolvable math equation. The machine will print an infinite amount of Luna. If you were watching
is there anyone on Twitter or anyone who saw it like this?
I saw it. I don't know if anyone else saw it. I regret not making 2 months before the collapse. My friend told me like 3 or 4 months before the collapse he bought it, and he was up. He was up like 3x or whatever, and I'm like, congratulations. You know,
he was holding Luna.
Yeah, I even sent him rocket emojis. Like, I regret doing that because, so my philosophy back then was live and let live. I'm a Bitcoin hardcore whatever kind of person. I don't really like shitcoins, but there's people who are making a lot of money on NFTs and altcoins. So I didn't want to tell anyone what to or not to do. I just wanted to teach people. So I was posting like quotes on my Facebook, like, oh, Bitcoin, you know, its math can't be changed. You know, I'm against government censorships. Look at these wars are starting out. Russia is censoring their citizens. I'm speaking my thing, but I never told anyone like, you know, you shouldn't hold NFTs because, or, you know, you should, like, actually, when he told me Luna and it was up, I'm like, congratulations. And I didn't bother looking into it. And then a month later, I looked at it and I was like, whoa, this thing is doing, it's like the price is doing better than Bitcoin. But then I'm like, how can this thing do better than Bitcoin? That sounds a little sus, but I'm like, maybe it's just really good. So then that's when I dove into YouTube and I watched like 3 or 4 videos on how it works. And when I watched how it works, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. But then that backwards thing, the UST to Luna, I asked the same question you did. I'm like, wait, it seems like something's missing here. Like where does the Luna come from? Like, it's just a simple question in my head. And when I thought about it, I'm like, okay, so the Luna can either come from LFG, Do Kwon, someone, a person, or it's minted out of thin air. And so it's not, so it's either centralized or it's not. It's either centralized or it's not scarce. But they were They were saying we have a decentralized algorithmic stablecoin, and Luna is scarce. In fact, Luna will always be deflationary. So if you hold Luna, its price will basically go up forever. So this is like in math, this is how you prove things wrong. You just find a small contradiction, and if they can't get rid of that contradiction, their whole equation is wrong. That's how math works. So that's why you can dig. That's why you can be really nitpicky about like algorithms and math. Like even if there's one tiny contradiction, like for example, in the case of Luna, is them saying it's decentralized and scarce. Okay, I just showed you the Luna. Where does it come from? It's either centralized or it's not scarce, and that was enough for it to not work. That little hole a lot of people didn't see. When Luna's market cap finally fell below UST's, boom, the machine started printing an infinite amount of Luna. If you were watching for the 3 days of UST and Luna collapsed to zero, if you were watching, the supply of Luna, I believe, went up from 300 million to 6 trillion within 2.5 days, and it would have kept going.
That's most likely
they had to stop it. Like LFG pressed, we're gonna stop minting. We're gonna stop the machine because it's gonna print an infinite amount. They had to stop it. If they didn't, it would have went up to a quadrillion, a pentillion. Because that math equation, it doesn't work. Because that's why I wanted you to do the mental math, right? As you saw, the first billion it doubled the supply, and the next billion it doubled again. And if you keep doing that, it'll double again. And when people see this happening, they will try to outbid each other. Each person, like I'll say, oh, I think I can only get 50 cents for one Luna, for one UST. I'm willing to sell them for 50 cents. And someone else sees it, then it falls more, and someone else says, okay, I'm willing to sell each for 40 cents. And then someone else says, okay, I'm willing to sell mine for 30 cents. And then same with Luna. So then
what's Luna C?
Luna C is that original one. Luna Classic is the original one. After it collapsed, Do Kwon said, okay, my project failed. Let's do it again. So he made Luna 2. Luna is Luna 2, 2.0. The actual, right now, if you go on Binance or whatever and you search Luna, that's Luna 2.0. Luna C is the original Luna that they added a C at the end to show that it's called Luna Classic. That's the one that he didn't change. Now, they're both worthless because Luna C collapsed. Luna 2.0 is just a copy of Luna 1. If it doesn't work, it's not going to work again. Do Kwon, I don't know, he thought like, if I launch it again, people will be dumb enough to buy it again, right? So if the first one doesn't work, the second one uses the same structure as the first one, it also doesn't work.
Yeah.
They're the same, basically.
And do you know anything about USDD?
No, what is that?
It's another maybe I'll let you finish your UST one before you dive into that. But it's
like, we're pretty much finished. Like
it's another one. It's on, is it on Tron? Hold on. Justin Sun. USDD. Yeah, Tron's decentralized over collateralized.
Yes, I do know about it. I forgot the token symbol, but yes, it's trash. I mean, it's just UST on Tron.
Because it came out after, right?
Yes,
after.
It came out like one month after, and they were already working on. He was working on a stablecoin, algorithmic stablecoin, USDD. I forgot the name, on Tron, modeled after UST. Like months before UST collapsed. So he was like, oh, look, UST is so successful. Let's make a copy. But then it crashed. Luna crashed, but then he didn't want to just forgo the project. So he launched it and said, oh, this one's going to work, guys. Don't worry. But it's the same structure. The structure has proven that it doesn't work. And in fact, I proved it didn't work 2 months before it crashed. Now I regret not posting that video.
You didn't make your video.
Yeah, I should have. Like, and even more, I should have told my friend, "Hey, I think there's a hole here." Like, I just didn't bother because at that point I was in the mindset of, like, who am I to like? I don't know, because I don't really know. I'm not beating myself up, but I'm saying. Yeah. Hindsight 2020, right? Everyone has hindsight 2020. Everyone has like, I'm growing. I'm growing and learning. Like from that event now, whenever I see something stupid, or if I hear someone say something stupid, doesn't matter who it is. If Saifedean says something stupid, I'm gonna say, this doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna say it. It's not financial advice. Like, I'm not saying you have to do what I say, but before, like 8 months ago, I was still in the mindset of, if someone says something dumb, whatever, I'll just ignore it. I'll just let them do it. If someone's gonna drive off of a hill, I'll just let them. It's their own choice. But now I'm thinking, I should at least say something.
Right.
It's not forcing anyone, but that's
what do you feel. Then what do you feel about stacks? How you have to kind of get more stacks to get a yield in Bitcoin back.
Oh, buying stacks to get Bitcoin is definitely worse than just buying Bitcoin. So, yeah, don't buy stacks to buy Bitcoin. But if you want to buy stacks,
I'm not.
Yeah,
I want
no.
your opinion. I'm
I know.
pretty much very Bitcoin only.
I know. I'm not. It's not an advice for you, but I'm just saying to people who want to buy something to get some yield, it's better to just buy the asset that's the best. Just buy Bitcoin. Don't try to buy stacks to get yield on Bitcoin. But if you want some NFTs on Bitcoin, buy some stacks, mint an NFT, and then keep the NFT and forget about the stacks. I actually did that in the last session. I don't know if you were there.
I saw it.
Yeah, I minted the.
So you're treating
ionized
it more as like a ramp. You're treating it.
I just want the IONIZED.BTC. I don't care about the stacks. Well, no, I bought $12 of stacks and only paid like $1. I bought too much, I guess. Now I'm gonna be back holding the $11 of stacks. So I don't really care about it. Maybe I'll mint some more NFTs with the $11. Because the reason why I minted more was because I thought maybe I would need some more, and because the transaction fee to send stacks out of Binance was like 50 cents. So I'm like, I'm not gonna just buy $1 of stacks and pay 50 cents to send it over. I may as well buy 12. And it's 50 cents, and I can like buy a few extra NFTs or something, because that transaction fee. If it was cheaper, I would have just bought exactly $1 of stack, because I just want the NFT.
Why is it expensive?
It's just a withdrawal fee on Binance. It's just Binance's withdrawal fee. But it's not just Binance. I looked on other exchanges. It was also like the same. Like Bitcoin withdrawal fee on Binance is like $5. So, and Ethereum is like $20. Yeah, if you want to withdraw, I mean, if you send a Bitcoin transaction yourself from your own wallet, it's only 3 cents right now. It's only 3 cents. The network is not congested at all. But for some reason, Binance, they have like a minimum fee. Like they didn't automate it such that if it gets really, really cheap, the fees go lower. They just keep it at like the same amount. A flat. Yeah, they keep it flat, exactly. So if actually the fee is 3 cents, they still have it at $5. But if the fee goes up to $30, it will still be $5 from Binance. So you're actually if the fee all of a sudden goes to $30, you're actually saving money withdrawing from Binance. But they'll see that, and then they'll go, okay, we're losing money, let's turn the fee up. So they're quick to turn the fee up if they need to, but they don't really bother lowering the fee. Yeah.
There's a threshold.
Exactly.
A minimum.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Yeah, no, that's why I'm looking at I want to learn more about peer-to-peer networks and using those to get into Bitcoin, and really curious about on and off ramps. But the problem is that I don't know, like, it's a bunch of technical knowledge, and I don't know how those networks manage to stay very liquid with Bitcoin if it's not coming from a centralized source.
Wait, can you say that again?
Like, if it's like how it managed, like these like a BISC network, how you can get Bitcoin and where that Bitcoin is coming from.
For like someone who wants to buy a lot of Bitcoin?
Not a lot of Bitcoin, but like if I wanted to get Bitcoin for myself and not have to go to a Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, you know.
You're thinking of how you can get Bitcoin without KYC. Yeah. When everyone uses Bitcoin, it'll be very easy, because everyone will, like, when it's mass adopted in like 30 years, for Christmas, your present, your aunt's gonna give you a little bit of BTC. Like when you get a part-time job as a 14-year-old kid, you're gonna get some BTC if you sell some candies.
That's assumed, but I'm talking about like now.
Yeah.
Because
today it's hard. Like You can do, there's some websites where it's kind of like Craigslist. I think it's like local Bitcoins or something, where you just there's people who list how many Bitcoins they have and how much they're willing to sell it, and then you literally just contact them, you phone them or email them, and then you meet up in person and you transact in person, almost like a drug deal. So that's one way to do no KYC Bitcoin. And if you work now, if you work for a company who pays you in Bitcoin, they're still gonna like document how much they paid you. Yes, they're still gonna KYC you. But if you are like a shadowy hacker, I think some like Bitcoin developers or something, they might be able to get paid in Bitcoin for developing without revealing their identity. Yeah, but most people, even if you work online for a company, you're still getting KYC'd. I mean, if you're selling drugs online, then you're not KYC'd. Yeah, so you'd have to be like a solo entrepreneur. If you start a website or like a streaming service, like if you stream on Twitch and you get donations in BTC, that won't be KYC'd, I guess.
No.
Because well, if you keep the same public wallet address under your stream and they donate to the same one, then the government can see that address. But if you change that address every day, then all your donations, they won't be able to track it. So
because you can with cold storage and some hot wallets, you can there's like 10 addresses you can circulate through or something like that. You can just change it.
Also, I don't think KYC is that big of an issue, because you can always use mixers.
I don't think it's big of an issue, but I think that I think in terms of like if I want to get people into Bitcoin, sometimes I don't feel comfortable making them set up a Coinbase. If that
makes sense.
You get what I'm saying?
Maybe I was gonna say you should give them a tiny bit of Bitcoin, like $10, but not out of your own pocket, because then you're losing money. So I was thinking like maybe you could somehow.
Actually, well, I've been giving it out of my own. So I usually get we get set up on like a Moon or Blue Wallet, and it's just I just send them Bitcoin.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the original OG Bitcoiners, like Andreas and like Roger Ver. That's what they did. But they're rich.
I know. I'm not rich, but like to me, that there's more value in giving that to people, versus me forcing them and be like, okay, you got to open this account and then you got to put your information in. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to go through it the other way around. And if people want to get more Bitcoin and they want to go and exchange, like they can do that. But originally I like want to be able to, have, I mean, my Bitcoin, but the Bitcoin I give to them is KYC, because it's coming from Strike most of the time, because I can't allocate that easy from my cold to an exchange and then give it to them. So it's still like, it is still KYC Bitcoin. I just don't want their information in centralized exchanges. I don't want to make them do that to get the Bitcoin. So yeah, no, I definitely want to work at it that way versus the other way around.
Another way to get no KYC Bitcoin is Bitcoin ATMs, but their fees are super high, 20% fees. It's horrible, absolutely horrible. Yeah, if you spend $100, you get $80 of Bitcoin.
Yeah, no. No. Yeah, no, I think, and that's why like I think the adoption is so important, because we just need to have this Bitcoin this economy circulating it, so you can be getting Bitcoin through original means, like through your job, or like you're just transacting in it. Like you don't have to get it from somewhere. It's already going to be circulating.
Well, you just gave me a like kind of a good idea, I guess. I just realized there's no reason why a real life Bitcoin exchange, such as a Bitcoin ATM, has to be 20%. And actually, here in Vancouver, there's a store like downtown where you can go and buy Bitcoin with cash, but they might still need to get your identity. I'm not sure, and I think their fee is like 4% or something. So
it's interesting because cash is paper, and that's better. I mean, like at the end of the day, that's why so many drug transactions and stuff is done through cash, because you can't.
Well, my idea, what I'm saying is, why don't you or someone start like a real life exchange? Like you have a clerk sitting there, and they pay cash, and you give them Bitcoin, and you only charge, let's say, a 1% fee. Now, if you have to rent a place, the 1% fee probably won't cover the place. But yeah, like what you're saying, like no KYC Bitcoin, there's no reason why it should be that hard to get.
But how do they get? But how does the people who are giving out get the Bitcoin? Or does that matter?
Your company holds some Bitcoin, and every time someone comes to you, they give you cash. You send them Bitcoin. There's yeah.
Would there be see, that could work, but the thing is, would there need to be legislation
so
regarding that? Like ID, like would you need to ID someone, not necessarily like driver's license, like what if you had to just show like your wallet or something, like would you need to like clarify something beforehand before doing that transaction, or it could like be like literally like peer-to-peer on ramp to Bitcoin, like in person, you know?
So, well, if you first start, like if you start a lemonade stand, the government's not going to come and regulate you. If you start a Bitcoin stand on the side of the street, they're not going to come regulate you. But if it gets really big and you have like 50 chains, now the government's going to come and say, hey, you have to give us information. But here's the thing, there's no way to prevent the government from asking for KYC. They can always ask. Even when you use cold wallets, they can still say, hey, like they can write a law tomorrow that says anyone who uses a Bitcoin wallet must submit their information and give us their public Bitcoin wallet address. If you don't do that, we will arrest you. If we find out you have they can say that. If we find out you have Bitcoin, if we find out you have a wallet address, if you don't give that address to us, we're going to arrest you. But the thing about Bitcoin is not whether or not you can stop the government from asking. It's whether or not they can enforce it. They can't enforce because they can't know if you have Bitcoin or not. It's very, very hard to know that. So with a real life stand, I guess they can come and they can see you have a clerk there with a cold wallet, and they know you have Bitcoin. And then also they can send secret agents who are buying a bit of Bitcoin from you. And then by buying some Bitcoin, they get the public address of your wallet. But if you're constantly changing that address, they still won't really know how many Bitcoin you have in total. They will just know for that one transaction, the public key you used, and maybe they can link it to a few other transactions.
Sounds like a good startup idea.
Yeah, I think it's like Bitcoin is all about like strength in numbers. Like if you have one lemonade stand, they don't care. If you have 50 Bitcoin stands, they care.
Distributed across the country.
Yes, but if you have 50,000 Bitcoin stands, now they don't care anymore because they can't anymore. Like if every convenience store accepted Bitcoin, they're not gonna have one government agent at every convenience store checking every single Bitcoin transaction. So it's just a numbers thing. Like if you're starting off, if you have like 50 or something, they're like, oh, it's worth it for us to go get their address. But if every single person is using Bitcoin, they just don't have the time or money or effort. If they try to come and like make sure, if they try to come and find your address, like you're just gonna stop taking Bitcoin payments. Like it's like hit or miss. It's like whack-a-mole. Like they come here, you're like, no, we're not taking Bitcoin payments anymore.
Yeah, you can't stop it.
Yeah, and then the next convenience store there is taking Bitcoin payments. Okay, tomorrow the government goes there and says, hey, give us your address. And they say, sorry, we don't have an address. We're taking cash today. And then, but the store over there is taking Bitcoin today. Like, right? When there's 50,000 or 1 million people all doing basically real life Bitcoin transaction, that's basically a real life Bitcoin transaction. Like even a convenience store is very similar to what I said earlier about like a Bitcoin stand. Like a little stand where you sell Bitcoin for cash. If every convenience store became a Bitcoin stand, then you could very easily get no KYC Bitcoin. You just go and buy like a pack of whatever, candy or cigarette or whatever, and you pay Bitcoin. Or if you start a little stand or you sell some candies to your friends at school, let's say, and you get paid in Bitcoin, yeah, that would be too much to track.
Yeah. Well, this is a good discussion. I have to go because I have some homework due and a party tonight, but actually,
are you going
enough
to a party?
I am, but I'm gonna be shilling Bitcoin the whole entire time.
Nice.
That's why I go to just talk about crypto. Um,
That's awesome. That was a
but
nice chat. Yeah.
no, yeah, no,
But
this really expanded my mind. Thank you for explaining Terra more in depth. I I didn't really know about Terra because I just knew it was performing well. I was just like, oh, it's just another shitcoin. But yeah, this is really insightful, and I'm glad that you recorded it. So um, we can look back and yeah, let's definitely try. I agree with Michael. Let's just try and set up a repeated call and hopefully turn this into a spaces.
definitely.
The only thing about spaces is that you can't stream. Discord, you can stream your computer, so it's fun. But um, yeah. But thank you so much. This is great.
Yeah,
You're
nice
so
chat,
smart. Like
Fanny.
it's just like crazy.
We'll talk again soon, and the time is almost up on my Zoom as well.
Gotcha. All right. You
Bye
have a nice
bye.
day, Jordan.
Have a nice party.
Thank you.